Namaste to everyone. Tonight, with my beautiful friend, we decided to transform our personal and intimate dialogue about fake gurus and make it alive out of it because it was a treasure to behold privately. So we would say, well, let's make a showdown, man. Let's really take it to the core today, and let's drive it in there.
That's what sexuality is all about, driving it in there.
Yeah, exactly.
And I was joking, but I'm not. In this day and age, in the 21st century, it actually does require street smarts, and it does require some grit to be on the spiritual path, to discern. There's no other way to say it. I mean, calling fake spirituality bullshit is being nice. You yourself spoke of it as demonic, and I can't agree more that fake spirituality, and they may mean well, but fake spirituality truly is demonic. And, ultimately it will serve, but it does require grit and street smart. I'm sad to be the bearer of that bad news in this day and age.
Yeah. Namaste, Zephalos. If you look at these guys, icon,
Talk about street smart.
He said namaste, but he has like two. Okay.
He's like, namaste.
Yeah. Very fun. And welcome to the channel. So the idea is very simple. In the postmodern spiritual era, we have a group of people or a current of spiritual nature that is taking it very fast forward, like some kind of fast food product that you consume on your way to work. And it's a product of spirituality that is selling. One, is selling. Two, it doesn't have lineage, because none of the Neoadvaita teachers can claim lineage from anyone. Three, besides the financial aspect that they take highly advantage of, they also induce people into high mental issues, because I talked with our friend before the live. It was quite a fiery dialogue about the fact that a competent guru will look at you and will say, this is the practice for you. We look in your soul and say, oh, you have an excess of prithvi, or you have an excess of water energy, or you have an excess of air energy. And this is the sadhana for you, my friend. But going straight into the Advaita experience for beginners, that is ether energy. And ether energy in excess destroys livelihoods, mental health, and sanity and health. So speeding up the spiritual process in someone without understanding their individual particular nature, like I said before, it's a demonic intrusion. Because it uses the cover of sainthood, uses the image and the maya, the mirage of sainthood, to promote a spiritual practice that utterly destroys you. So all the tantras, all the high spiritual end practices have the goal of Advaita at the end. But you are prepared for it in long years of sadhana and practice, and you enter it without effort, because you already made some efforts to attain that state gradually. There are, of course, exceptions in which some karmic positive event happens and you have a revelation of Advaitic nature that is blessed and recognized by a guru. But even so, a competent guru will ask for his disciple to shut up about his enlightenment for a while. A competent guru will test your enlightenment. So I have come across many fake gurus in my lifetime, and I have come across very rarely to some true gurus. But a fake guru will ask for money and give little in return. Will play chess games with your mind until you are out of stamina because he has training, you don't. He sits there on a throne and does mind games 24 out of 24. And if you're a sincere seeker and go there, you are encountering a guy who is skilled at mind games. But he doesn't care about your soul. He doesn't have compassion for your problem. He has the same answer for every freaking question you give him. This is very damaging. Because spiritual guidance should be specific to the person, the guru. Also, I talked with Truth before this live, and always ask the question, "Who is your guru?" To the person. Oh, my guru, that guy. Did he give you recognition? Wait. Oh, yeah, maybe. I'm not sure. No, man. Did he give you full diksha? Did he give you full initiation to be guru? And it with witness or someone knew about it. Can you prove the lineage connection? Oh, if not, wait. You are asking me to trust you in this Kali Yuga like this?
Yeah.
Very gullible. And these guys are like shakals, are like the demons of the old age. It's like the demons of the old age incarnated in fake gurus and prey on innocent souls. And I have seen not one, but 10 people who suffered from Neoadvaita fake bullshit,
Yeah.
mentally and emotionally.
Yes. It took me to the brink of suicide, and
Look,
it took me to the brink of suicide. And I mean, I know two people who had mental breakdowns, and I know I'm not the only one. I'm sure there are plenty who had actually drove to suicide, and it can seem perplexing. How is that possible? And Magic Song and I just were able to, before this, we were able to just to really break it down. And Magic Song came up with the phrase Neoadvaita mind traps. And so that's the problem with Neoadvaita, is it presents a truth that really is an ultimate truth. And once you've seen it, you can't dispute it. You can't dispute the fact that there is an aspect of your being that is witnessing and that is unaffected by whatever you witness. So basically what happens is a Neo-Advaita teacher will present that truth to someone who's not ready for it. Someone will have a moment. All it takes is one moment of seeing, of like, oh my God, there's a part of me that's always at peace. And then the Neo-Advaita will add on top of that, and this is the highest truth. Once the person's had that seen, and then once they accept that this is the highest truth, and then a Neo-Advaita doesn't teach anything else, the person is literally caught. And what they're caught in the combination of a profound spiritual truth and profound misinstruction how to live, embody, and realize that truth. And I knew for years, I knew I didn't have the phrase Neo-Advaita yet, but I was like, non-duality isn't right for me. I knew that much, but I was still, I knew that, but I was still stuck in it, because the other aspect of it is it's physiologically addictive, because it allows you, like, let's say I'm having a bad day. Well, if I just practice self-inquiry, I'll temporarily rise above the problems. But that's what people drink. That's why people drink or smoke some marijuana. It basically, in essence, suppresses, and then you come down from that, and the problems are still there. So then you need more self-inquiry or more satsang. To an unprepared mind, non-duality truly is a drug. And I speak from experience. I speak from absolute experience.
And you're absolutely right with everything you said. Transforming a spiritual state in a means to escape daily problems, spirituality should first help you to resolve your daily issues so that your sadhana is strong afterwards. In fact, this is the in tantra, this is the approach. You first take up sadhanas that resolve your day-to-day issues and problems in relationship, in livelihood, and in whatnot. And then the divine gives you, hey, take some livelihood from there, take some money, take some abundance, take some love in your life. Oh, now you can do sadhana because you're not anxious about stuff, and you will not use the enlightenment states afterwards as an escapism, because your life will be fulfilled already, so you can plunge into enlightenment with a strong foundation. But the sadhanas are of many types. For example, if a guru looks at your astrological chart and sees your astrological configuration, it will recommend you a Ishta Devata. That Ishta Devata has a Tattva attributed to it, a planet attributed to it, and your worship and work with that Ishta Devata, it's like the Ishta Devata acts like a tour guide, like an existential tour guide in your life, of your whole life.
Yes.
And without this proper subtle guidance of the knowledge of tattvas, of energies, this is intricate stuff. You really need a competent guru for this stuff. You jump straight at the last level and you want everyone to achieve supreme enlightenment. What you're giving them is a spiritual drug, not a reality of their own.
Yeah.
So this is a demonic act in which you that guru is very intrusive, because that guru will always neglect you as a person.
Well said.
And also it will encourage you to kill your personality.
Yeah. Yes. Wow. That's, I've said it many times, and they talk about well, I'll say that I love this comment. Guru, I have a problem, please help. So, who are you? Guru, give me practice, please. Who is talking now?
Who lives in the situation now?
Yeah. They talk about, full samadhi, full union. I forget the Sanskrit, where you lose awareness, where you unite so profoundly with God that you lose awareness of the world. If that full samadhi is sustained, you won't even eat. If someone doesn't feed you, you will die. And some yogis do. They go into that state and they just leave their body. That's how non-functional transcendence. And so that's an extreme. That's like the extreme. You enter a state of samadhi to where you completely lose worldly and bodily consciousness.
Yes, but this happens in untrained yogis.
Yeah.
Because a trained yogi, I have seen it with my own eyes, man. A trained yogi could be in the kitchen and preparing food for his wife, while at the same time he is in a high state of samadhi.
Thank you. And that's, wow. Amen. And so the practice of self-inquiry won't take you that far out, but it does take you far out. It takes you out. And if you are not prepared, as Magic Song said, and the way it's taught, it really is taught as an unhealthy killing of the self. There's all this talk of killing the ego, but if it's not, I don't even like to say kill the ego anymore, but it leaves a person completely dysfunctional.
And the proper expression for it would be integration of the ego.
Yes. Or just non-identification. I mean, Ramana Maharshi had a personality.
Yeah.
The day the day Gandhi was assassinated, they played Gandhi's favorite bhajan on the radio, and Ramana wept tears.
So being an enlightened, a liberated person who attain moksha doesn't transform you into a robot, emotional robot.
The opposite.
Quite the opposite. You feel every fiber of existence in
Oh.
your own body.
Yeah, that's unraveling the fact that, Ramana Maharshi had a personality. He was a joker. He, sometimes he didn't like, the most amazing story I ever heard was, he didn't like the political going-ons at the ashram. And so a couple times he left in tears.
Wow, I didn't know that.
I don't want anything to do. And the devotees came and dragged him back.
Wow. I didn't know that. Wow.
Yeah.
So he was upset about his own politics at the ashram and he left, man? Wow. I need to do more research on this.
There's another amazing story where all the time, not all the time, but often he would read the Indian epics, and then he would take on the characters, and he would take on their voices, and he would play act the different characters, different voices. He was, we have this, thanks to Neoadvaita, we have this false image of what enlightenment does to your personality. The false image is it destroys it. There is no person.
No.
When the truth is, it makes you, I don't want to say the supreme human, but it as you said, it integrates humanity with divinity.
Yeah, and if I come to look at the Puranas and the traditions of Hinduism, there are some very powerful personalities there who reach enlightenment. And let me give you some very weird examples. For example, the Rishi Durvasha was called the angry, furious Rishi. The furious Rishi. That guy, when he entered the court of the gods, Indra and other Gandharvas there or other devas were pretty scared of him to not upset Durvasha, because Durvasha was like the agent of karma for the gods and for men. And at the court of the gods, there was a Gandharva playing a song, and he ignored Rishi Durvasha and started to play a song over him speaking. And he got a curse from the Rishi and transformed him into a frog or something. So there are accounts of rishis behaving like very emotional beings. For example, Narada, Rishi Narada, who was like the spokesman for the gods. He was like the right hand of Vishnu. He was a big rishi, big rishi. He was the rishi of many important mantras. One of the most occult mantras we have from the Rishi Narada in Tantrism. And that guy was an utter trickster. Wow. He managed to persuade Shiva to have a wife and a child. So he was a divine trickster to such an extent that he managed to persuade the biggest ascet in the universe to have a wife. And he actually went to Kamadeva with Brahma in Vishnu and said, man, Kamadeva, go there, and when Shiva meditates, shoot an arrow in his ear with Vaishkaran for Parvati, and when Shiva opens his eyes, he will see Parvati dancing and he will be charmed. So we can see, even at that level of devas and mahadevas, we can see traits of personality that are very human.
And this is just gets to the essence of it is, I was taught that Advaita Vedanta is Hinduism, when actually it isn't. Advaita Vedanta is just one school of Vedanta. And then within Vedanta, there are many, many schools that are what you can call qualified non-duality, wherein God and the individual, God and the world are simultaneously one yet distinct. There are many schools, and in my process of recovering from Neoadvaita, I found it so helpful, this idea of cultivating a relationship with the divine, of karma yoga, being of service to the divine, of bhakti yoga, of singing love songs to the divine. And also, as we've talked about, like building a healthy, in my case, rebuilding a healthy personality, a healthy vessel that can live life and serve life, and yes, of course, strive for greater spiritual awakening. But all in all, a philosophy like Vishishta Advaita includes humanity, where real Advaita Vedanta does as well. But what we're getting here is very watered down here in the 21st century, very watered down, and it completely negates half of reality. It completely negates everything relative.
And let us go more in depth on it. Neoadvaita strips down humanity from a person. It doesn't allow them to cry, feel the pain. It shames them from having feelings.
Yes.
It shames them from enduring doubts. And also ends up as a cult of personality for the cult leader who doesn't have a direct lineage claim of valid nature, and it transforms itself into a cult on which the personality of the guru, who is transpersonal, absorbs all the personalities of all his disciples. Nobody is allowed to have a personality but the guru, who doesn't have a personality.
Yeah.
And also, if you look at the private life, if you do research on the private life of Neoadvaita gurus, you would see the most weird behaviors
Personality.
of personality possible. If you deny your personality, your personality will deny you. And they have sex with disciples. A lot of sex with disciples. And those disciples are having high score traumatic experiences that they will possibly never recover from in this lifetime. And if they awake from this experience at one point, they will find it hard to trust another guru in their lifetime.
Or to trust, even if they come across
anyone.
Yes. And it's so, I love what you said about, only the Neoadvaita guru is allowed to have a personality, and everyone else has to get rid of theirs. And what I've come to in my realization is that Neoadvaita is actually dualistic. It's highly dualistic. Traditional, Sanatam Dharma, Hinduism has many, many schools, but weaved within almost every school is the idea that the Supreme has two faces. There's different words for it, but some of the most popular are Purusha and Prakriti. You'll find this idea of the witness or spirit and matter or nature woven through so many different. And Neoadvaita completely negates and even denies the existence of Prakriti.
Yeah. I have even seen Neoadvaita gurus who say that accumulating Shakti is bad. What the fuck, man?
So
this is the direct opposite. This is what?
Oh, well, I was just
yeah.
Ah!
yeah. You just came in here. Yeah. Well, we know too, but we don't give names on this channel. We attack ideas. We dismantle ideas, but we don't give names.
I won't name them, but also because I don't have their name, I'm still trying. But I know of a Neoadvaita teacher who killed himself.
What?
They went to their satsang, and
what?
They went to this. I have it on solid source, so I trust it. I just don't have the person's name. They went to their satsang and they're like, "Guys, I'm really suffering," and the people in the satsang were like, "You of all people should know you're not. You're suffering." He's like, yeah, but I'm really suffering. And they just responded with the Neoadvaita nonsense, and he ultimately killed himself.
Wow, man, this
And
is like when a new Advaita teacher is doing this in public, or this really shows the extent of the misunderstanding, because um, the essence, in my humble opinion, the essence of Sanatana Dharma can be seen in Samkhya Karika philosophy. For example,
could you
if
say that again? The essence seen in
the essence of Sanatana Dharma can be noticed and seen in uh, the Samkhya Karika philosophy.
the Samkhya. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you.
Look, Ramayana, and Ramayana. Rama is Purusha, and uh, Sita is Prakriti. And what does Rama do? Sita is being stolen by Ravana, by Maya, by the demonic forces, and Rama tries to rescue Sita. So
And Rama, let me give you the Neoadvaita version, then you give me the real version. The
yeah.
Neoadvaita version would say, Sita, you don't exist.
On the other hand, Rama goes to war for Sita, endures tons of dramatic events that are made up in a big, beautiful, and divine epic. So, so real life, it's like Ramayana. We
Yes.
strive, we suffer, we go down in the mud, we
Mm.
we trust fake gurus, we wake up, we learn to trust ourselves again. Even the fake experiences that we have get us more closer to our own guru tattva, our own inner guru. And when you finally reach a true guru, you know the big difference, man. Because a true guru will never be judgmental, will never look down on you, on your if you come at him with your puny human experience, it will feel you important. Because I had a guy, a powerful sadhaka friend of mine, and I had some stuff to share with him that I didn't like from certain traditions. And he said to me this: in the presence of the Guru Tattva, so if a Guru emanates Guru Tattva, all the doubts and all the tensions and contradictions are dissolved. So if a guru who claims he's a guru but doesn't emanate the Guru Tattva, from here many tragedies can unfold.
Yes. And
Let's see what this person. Okay, of course I don't give names. I also know non-duality teacher who has made suicide.
yes.
What?
Wow, probably so.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, this confirms your telling. The same probably that Arthur speaks. He was quite famous also. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, man.
Yeah. The thing is, and you talk about guru tattva, the energy that a true guru emanates, and one of the tricks is that a neo-advaita guru does emanate something. It's just, if they didn't, they probably wouldn't attract any students. And so that's something that I've always puzzled with. And my understanding is once your kundalini is awakened, you emanate. And I don't know if that emanating the same thing you're talking about, the Guru Tattva, but you definitely emanate something positive. And so I'd be curious to hear I'd be curious to hear your thoughts on what it is that the Guru is emanating.
Very quintessential question. One of the best questions that can be asked about Neoadvaita by far. Simple. They had some partial initiation from someone who also had a partial initiation. Also, this partial initiation means that if a portion of your kundalini is being awoken and you are not ready and you have not done any prior potent sadhana to balance yourself, there are sadhakas, dear Arthur, there are sadhakas who have such a strong emanation that if people walk near them on the street, they feel instantly a state of peace. They feel instantly a state of, and those sadhakas never claim to be a guru. But I have seen sadhakas or high initiate beings who only if they glance at you, only if they look at you, you instantly enter samadhi. And they never claim they are guru, man. So when a portion of Shakti is being accessed through partial sadhana or partially integrated practices, if you are a sadhaka who has gone astray, you declare yourself guru, and that partial awakened Shakti in you can be used to do all the evil shit that is humanly possible to do.
Wow.
For example, sexual hypnotism, um, persuasion and mesmerism, uh, suggesting your disciples your avatar with your energy.
Wow. Wow.
If someone has Kundalini Shakti fully awakened in them, so not fully but partially awakened, and they have not had a proper guru,
Yes.
They themselves have fallen victims to demonic entities. Let me explain. They are called Agori Manda. So when a group of demons sees a sadhaka that has no guru, and, and those entities look at that person and say, "Oh, this is the perfect victim for us to work through."
Wow.
And yeah, and that sadhaka will have thoughts of, "Oh, I'm an avatar of that god. I'm an avatar of that god." And basically, he has fallen victim to the Agori mandala, or to a mandala of spirits that simply uses that vehicle to spread their energies, to get sexual pleasure from disciples. There will be sexual demons that will come to get money from the disciples. The sense of power is also very strong in them. So basically, it's very hard to detect, because once you are a fallen sadhaka, declaring yourself guru without any blessing from any other guru, a fallen sadhaka will be equally served and possessed by this mandala of spirits, and those spirits will collaborate with the subconscious of the disciples. And look, how many times we have seen Neoadvaita gurus pretending to be Christ-like or worshipped like Christ, because in their aura they have an aura of mesmerism, suggesting to the disciples this. And the trick is, after the disciple comes in awe like this in pranam and says, "Oh, I bow to you, you are like Christ," and stuff, they are tricky. They will deny it, but they love it inside. Very cunning individuals. So, we have a parampara. The parampara is a link between guru that had a guru that had a guru that had a guru. That parampara acts as a safety net for that spirit mandala to not come and destroy the life of a person. If you take up practices from a parampara, but you are not part of the parampara, but you still take up practices from there. For example, let me give you an example. If you take practices of high-end, or take practices of tantric cyclic nature or more in-depth nature of Kali,
yes,
but you have little understanding of who is Kali, and you have no initiation from Guru in Kali, or you don't have spiritual maturity, not Kali will come. Demons that will act like Kali will come to
act like. Yes, yes. As you,
I have seen this.
Yes. The thing is as you're talking, I just, this phrase, when someone said it, I was like, oh, that's what's going on. It's false light.
Yep.
That, it's, I mean, let's face it. There are people in the world who are spreading messages of hate. You can, and they attract a following. They attract people who are like, yes, I hate. Let's kill this group, or let's, like, there are people preaching hate that draws in other people who feel that way. but it's easy for most of the population to be like, hey, that's wrong.
Yeah.
But Neoadvaita and false spirituality, it presents what I've heard it called, and I can't think of a better word. It presents false light. It presents false virtue, false truth. And let's face it, we're talking about God. It presents not only false enlightenment, but false divinity. And that's where the rubber meets the road. And I sometimes think of not just Neoadvaita, but false spirituality, or as you're talking about, demon. I love your languaging. I'd never heard that, and it really resonates with my own experience of demon-directed spirituality. Like it'd be better to have no spirituality than have demon-directed spirit. Although there is a lesson to learn there,
Yeah.
but in terms of the damage it does, it would be better to just not. So basically, that which appears good and virtuous and true, but really isn't, as it's written. Jesus said, don't worry so much about the wolf, but the wolf in the sheep's clothes is 10 times more dangerous than the wolf, because it's easy to spot the wolf.
Yeah, and they use their divine love as a weapon to persuade people into giving their money, sexual stuff, and the worst thing that people give them is their belief. And let me give you an example that I have met recently, and I cannot shut up about it, man. I'm sorry. I cannot shut up about this stuff. About Adharma or Asatya or stuff. I cannot shut up about it. I will give you an example. I have seen a guru saying this, man. Sometimes the disciples make Guru God or make Guru Rudra. And sometimes their own faith in Guru, even if the Guru is fake, takes them to God. I am not.
Wow.
I'm not taking this, man.
That's, talk about a trap.
Yeah. I'm not taking this at all, man.
Wow.
And I couldn't shut up, man. I actually spoken with the Guru about it. So it was nothing personal here. It was not like reading it on the web or stuff. No, it was an interaction. And I said, no, if you're a true Guru, you are already Rudra, and you can become Rudra at your own will because you are already the Guru. But if you, so basically this is like a spiritual vampire mentality, basically. So when you see someone sitting in the center of a big crowd, being public, ask yourself, a true disciple of God would really have any intention to have ecstasy or orgasm at his own image? If you have complete faith in God and God is with you in every action, why even care about your image at all, man? But if you transform your guruhood into a PR tool to get more power, that's a wolf in sheep clothes, and that's more damaging than hate groups. But people don't know, because evil has different layers, much like goodness has.
Wow. And what this leads me to, and I'd be curious to hear your thoughts on it, is I've been meditating on, Sanatana Dharma talks about Maya and the overcoming of Maya. And for me, I just focus on Maya in terms of illusion and delusion. I don't, many people say, oh, well, this world is Maya. And I believe that's a miss, but that's maybe another topic. But
no, it's a good topic.
Yeah. But this, this level of discernment that you and I are talking about, and really the level, the because let's face it, a hate group is one type of Maya, of illusion. They're presenting Maya, but a Neoadvaita teacher is offering a much more subtle form of Maya that in some ways is more powerful and more destructive and harder to see as Maya. And so as I sit with my own journey and like, because I've suffered a lot falling for Neoadvaita, and I know I'm not the only one. And I asked myself, well, why did this happen? Or what is the divine purpose behind it? Part of what comes to me is that and this is not to justify Neo-Advaita at all, but that the journey is seen through and over with divine help overcoming Maya, and that fake spirituality in Neo-Advaita is just I won't say one of the final layers, but one more layer of Maya to overcome.
Also, very important, my friend. Let's define what is in spirituality, what we could call demonic in spirituality. And I would define this. And this is like my ultimate definition of what demonic is: intrusiveness. You have a healthy boundary. Man, you're one with the universe. Thumbs up, like, share, it's cool. You get a like from God, you get a share, it's cool. You are one with the universe, but oneness with the universe does not involve absence of boundaries, healthy boundaries. And if you don't have healthy boundaries, you're easy to manipulate. Also, we can talk about Maya in many ways. For example, we have like five senses, and we grasp only a tiny percent of the reality with these five senses.
Sure.
We can enhance our five senses, penetrate more into the Maya. Maya, by the way, is not something bad.
Okay? No, that's one of the things I've realized is that Maya serves. Maya is in service to the Supreme.
Yeah, Prakriti is Maya or Mahamaya, and it has a teaching purpose. I mean, a guru needs to have a strong Maya. A guru needs to have a powerful way to uh, um, awaken your attention in distinct manner so you can penetrate deeper the layers of Maya. Wow. But Maya is not something bad, man. Okay? Denial of everyday chores, denial of everyday livelihood, denial of a healthy relationship. I mean, how many times a chick or a female went to a fake Neoadvaita guru and broke up with his lover because that lover was not spiritual? Not good. Not good. This is not the way to solve it. Also, there is a big lack of shadow work in the new spiritual groups of today's world. A big freaking lack of shadow work.
Yes. And
you have suffered extensively. I believe you are one of the best examples to speak about Neoadvaita, and you have all the right to speak about it like this. And maybe your sufferance from Neoadvaita was a Maya of the fact that you right now contribute to encourage people to wake up. Maybe if it weren't for your experience of negative nature that almost brought you to the brink of destruction, maybe if it weren't for that, you right now wouldn't be able to speak in such an aware manner about this spirituality and help many people. And you are at the beginning of your work, my friend. You have only started. Trust me.
Thank you.
And finding the true guru, man, this is like a topic for another freaking age, to be honest. Because even if we speak right now about how to find the proper guru, it will take months for someone to understand, to grasp, and to, nobody becomes a true disciple by listening to someone's on YouTube talk. So
that would be so convenient.
Yeah, that would be so convenient. And we are now, I take the full responsibility that we have gathered here today to completely trash the Neoadvaita. Okay? And I love doing it because honestly, man, I don't believe that if someone doesn't have lineage for example, Ramana Maharishi was a big exception.
Yes, thank you. There are exceptions, and he was recognized. The Hindu authorities. It's not like he just had an experience and then the Hindu authorities weren't like, "Whoa," Yes, there are exceptions, and for me, the exceptions still require the established. I mean, I never thought in 1,000 years I'd be speaking for the establishment, but having been around the neo and tradition, but it has value. It has value, and the tradition and the establishment recognized Ramana for what he was, and
Yeah, but he was a real human being.
yes,
Yeah, he was a real human being. He was not someone that craved attention, power, or money. And as you said, and I didn't even knew that example, he went away from the ashram because of political tensions there, which really shows that, man, if you have a saint near you, it really shows the darkness of human personality.
right, right,
They had a big saint with them, and they still went on to quarrels, man, and politics.
yeah, yeah.
What can we expect then from normal people that are searching for some light and some truth? Because they are not exposed. For example, they are not exposed to a high potent energy of satya, of truth.
Yes.
They are not. So then we cannot expect. But what can we expect is we can attract through videos like these people who had similar experiences like us, for example, and we can strengthen what is already there. Because a guy from a disciple of Neoadvaita wouldn't bear to watch this for more than 5 minutes.
No, I've noticed. I've had people, on my channel, which started as a Neo-Advaita, well, actually a critique of one guru, and I've learned the hard way that mentioning names just doesn't help anyone. But they hated me, and this one person specifically hated me, and then a little while later, she came back and she's like, "Oh," but it's a process. And I heard one disciple of a Neo-Advaita teacher said, "There's nothing anyone can say, and there's nothing that this teacher could do that would convince me that they're not enlightened and that they're not a master." Yeah, yeah. The trap is, yeah, the trap is thick. Friend, I have another 5-ish minutes, so we don't need to wrap up in this moment.
Anyway, what was essential to be said was said a couple of freaking times over and over again. We made it was a big pleasure for me to talk on this subject with you, like always. It's a big honor to have you here on our chat. Namaste to you, my friend, and I hope this chat benefits as many people as possible. Namaste.
And if we could, I'd love for, at least I would like to, just a closing word or two. Maybe just sit for a moment with all that we've talked about and see if we have a closing word or two, if you're open to that.
Yeah. I mean, okay, guys, if you have, you mean to meditate a bit or questions?
More just, I just kind of wanted to wrap up with something. And I think on my end, we've talked about a lot. And on my end, enlightenment can't, my understanding is that enlightenment can happen in a moment, but to expect that or to grab after that is very dangerous. Ultimately, the time of enlightenment is not in our hands. And ultimately, even that, the timing of it must be surrendered. And I think the last thing I heard, and I hated it when I heard it, and now I love it, is you have to have a healthy ego to transcend an ego. Really, when I first heard that, I was like, "Fuck that."
Very good, man. Very good. Yes. A strong individuality can transcend individuality. A strong, healthy individuality.
Yes. Well said. Well said. Thank you so much for having me. I'm very honored.
Thank you so much for the inspiration to. It was your idea to go live. Thank you for that. Okay. Okay. Until next time.
All right.
Namaste. Namaste.
Namaste.